What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another video, my friends. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. So we are watching a system here that is set to drive a lot of impacts regarding the potential of flooding, maybe even a bit of winter weather as well. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right on into it. So we're taking a look here at the GFS model. This is a long-range American model. And by the way, the time is just above me, guys, if you want to follow along with that. Just know it's in Eastern time, so my central folks out there, follow along an hour before that time given, and that'll give you your central time. Anyways, my friends, well, we work our way down in time here. So this is a really interesting, complex kind of system here. So right around the 21st, okay, so right around March 21st, whenever we approach around this time here, so in about, well, since today just started for me, the 18th, so this will be right around here for the next 3 days or so, we're going to be getting ourselves a lot of precipitation. A low-pressure system will develop across portions here of the south, which will be kicking up a lot of moisture, a lot of precipitation, and also around this time, you're going to notice how we're going to see a big streak here of wintry precipitation across portions of north, south Dakota, possibly Minnesota, and so on. So watch this. So as we work our way down here in time, now moving into the 22nd, all of that precipitation is going to be rolling across the southeast here, really impacting states like Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Alabama, and that snow is going to move its way here to the east a bit. So across portions of the upper Midwest, moving in towards the Ohio Valley, and of course working its way up here across the Northeast. Now these systems are actually going to merge, which is really interesting. So first of all, we have that precipitation, that winter front moving its way through, and then we got all that moisture coming up, and these two are going to meet together, which this is going to create one big system, which is basically going to cause a lot of rainfall for the coastal Northeast here, and potentially a lot of snowfall for portions out there by like eastern Canada. Obviously, even the Northeast here expected to get a decent amount of accumulation, as we're going to take a look at the accumulations here in a moment. But overall, very interesting setup here. So once again, this will be taking place here, moving its way into the 21st is when it's going to really start. We're going to start off by getting a bunch of rain across like Texas, Oklahoma, a little bit of snow up north, and then as we progress our way into the 22nd, it'll roll across the upper Midwest into basically the northern Ohio Valley, like Wisconsin, Michigan, portions out there by like, Minnesota and surrounding areas here. And of course, around the southeast, we'll be getting a lot of rainfall. So this could actually be bringing numerous impacts, not just winter weather, but it also could be bringing a bit of flooding concerns. So let's go and take a look at the accumulations regarding the snowfall, and then we'll work our way over here into the flooding aspects. Alrighty, y'all, so now we're working our way over here to the same model, just looking at the overall snowfall accumulation. Now, I forgot to mention to you guys, at the current time being here, we're going to be seeing a bit of lake effect snow across the Northeast. Just typical for the Northeast here, so not a whole lot of, too craziness going on there. But look what happens as we approach where this system comes in. So look what happens. So we have ourselves a lot of snowfall. Remember, a little bit of a disclaimer, this is one model. You shouldn't take this 100% seriously. Just get an idea based off of it. And I don't know if I already mentioned, but this is the same model we were looking at just a minute ago to look at the overall precipitation. But according to this model, the GFS, this one does show a good amount of snowfall for the Dakotas, maybe 3 to 5 out there towards the borderline. And it really starts to pick up across portions like, central, southern Minnesota. Maybe we're talking maybe 4 to 8 inches potentially. Portions out there in southern Wisconsin, same thing. Basically central northern Michigan, same thing. But it really picks up once we get to the northeast, because what's going to be happening, like I said, those two systems are going to be merging. So essentially what's going to be happening is this system's going to strengthen, and it's going to have a lot more precipitation on it, allowing for those accumulations to definitely kick up across the northeast here. And whenever it comes to it, there is a possibility, I'm still not quite sold on this idea yet, but there is a possibility that we could see over a foot of snow, possibly in some areas. We'll keep an eye out there for that, as that could definitely still change. Now, there is also a possibility that we could see snow out of this event as far down south. Now, take this with a grain of salt, but there is a possibility we could have some snow possibly out there towards, like the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Smoky Mountains, between Virginia, West Virginia, as well as North Carolina. It's certainly a possibility, so keep that one in mind. Now, we're going to work our way over here to the European model, the ECMWF. This is arguably known to be one of the most accurate models, but you should take this the same as you would any other model. Just take it with a grain of salt. So this model, I haven't looked at it yet, but this model does suggest, oops, hold on, I need to hop down to a different run here. That one's still rendering, that's why it was messing up here. But this model, this one honestly kind of shows, a relatively similar approach in a way. Shows a big streak here, maybe a little bit less, as you can see, towards like Wisconsin, same thing for Michigan. So obviously snowfall, we still need to kind of work out here because, the models are still kind of a little bit all over the place here. here. But it does show the northeast here potentially getting a good amount of snowfall. Okay, so once again, take this with a grain of salt. This is still a little early, and that snowfall accumulations are going to fluctuate a little bit. We'll look at one more model here. This is the GDPS, or the Canadian model. I consider this like the GFS of the Canadian model, or of the Canadian models, I should say. And this one, honestly, kind of agrees. Now, ignore this accumulation. This is another system, but it's a little too far to forecast right now, so we're just going to leave that out for now. But regardless, this one does kind of agree with GFS a little more, showing heavier precipitation towards, like, you know, central, kind of more southern Wisconsin here. Bit to the northeast here could definitely see a good amount of snowfall according to this here, maybe up to a foot. Now, I think that's accumulating the lake effect snow plus this in particular system. So altogether, we could get, you know, possibly up to a foot or so in some areas across the northeast. We'll just keep it out there for that. Now, one of the big things is that this model does not show that snowfall across like the Smoky Mountains, but it does show a little bit up there towards like West Virginia. Hopping back over here to the European model, or the ECMWF. Now, this one also agrees that the fact that we're not going to get any snowfall across, like, you know, the Smoky Mountains and stuff. So you can kind of see where there is a little bit of differences going on here, but I just thought I'd go ahead and mention that with you guys overall. Now, let's go ahead and hop our way over here to the precipitation regarding the rainfall side of things, as we could have a lot of flooding across portions of the southeast, as well as maybe even the northeastern U.S. Alrighty, y'all, we're moving our way over here to the rainfall side of things and the potential out there for flooding. I really do see a lot of potential rainfall in some areas. So here's the GFS model, the main model we are looking at here throughout this video here. And whenever it comes to it, this model does show a good amount of rainfall kicking its way up here across portions of Florida. You know, there's a good possibility we could see anywhere between 1 and 3 inches across areas of Florida. Still kind of needs to be worked out here, but it really does, according to this model, take it with a grain of salt, like I always say, really does amplify those accumulations out there by like eastern North Carolina, potentially like 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. Could be pretty crazy. Now, there is a little something that I'm a little concerned about, so you guys can kind of see this big streak of rainfall. Now, if this does trend a little bit more west, obviously you can kind of see where this could become an issue, as this rainfall band would be pushed inland, which would cause a lot more rainfall for the country, and overall, a lot more of a greater potential overall for flooding. So we'll keep an eye out there for that. As of now, this model does show that streak outside and just off the coast of the United States, so that's good news as of now, but we'll keep an eye out there for it. Now, anyways, let's go and hop our way over here to the European model. It's obviously good to compare these guys, like I said, you know, because each model is a little bit different. Now, the European model does suggest a lot of heavy rainfall, once again, heading its way towards this, but this one really takes an interesting approach here overall. Once again, it kind of agrees on the fact that we could have a lot of rainfall across, you know, like eastern North Carolina there. Obviously, the accumulation numbers are a little iffy right now, but it does show maybe above 2 inches of rainfall. Same thing for Florida, you know, still kind of in that margin of maybe 1 to 3 inches overall. So there could be a lot of precipitation regarding this system, and there could be a bit of flooding concerns, so we'll have to keep an eye out there for that overall. But anyways, my friends, well, that is it. I want to go ahead and give you all just that quick little update for you guys. If y'all did enjoy it, leave a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It'd be greatly appreciated, my friend. We are on the road to 24,000 subscribers. I can't believe it, y'all. Thank you so much for your support. We love you guys. And alrighty, y'all. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See you then.